So there.
Who put a nickel in her?
And cranked her up.
At 11 o'clock in the morning.
But it's good advice, isn't it?
Yes.
That is our first hymn of the morning. It's sound spiritual advice. Let the good times roll. Let the good times roll. But you got to go within and ask, what are the good times? What are the good times? I love that Jerry said this, what we talk about here is not easy. This spiritual practice, Gloria emphasized that, what it takes to get it. You're logging, it's like, what are they talking about? What are they? It sounds so good. I want it, I want it, I want it. And then all of a sudden one day it's here. It's like, oh, what I wanted, I've had all along. And it was just, it's like, who did the statue of David? Is it Michelangelo? It was Michelangelo. And he said, I just chipped away until David was there. David, the statue of David, was always in that block of marble. I just chipped away till we found him. And it's the same way. Our Christ selves are here. We're just chipping away till we find it. Today's talk is on the wise and foolish builders. In our parable series from Matthew and Luke, the wise and the foolish. It's also called the weak and the strong foundation, the two different foundations. And a few weeks ago we talked about the different types of soil, and it's the same story with a different example. Jesus kept saying the same thing over and over again. In unity, we keep saying the same thing over and over again. There's only one message. Wake up! Wake up! Everybody. I looked at the beginning of Luke chapter 6, and I believe it's verse 46. He says, why do you call me Lord, Lord? I'm not sure why he says Lord, Lord, because there's nothing to precede that to explain that. But why do you call me Lord, Lord, and then not do what I say? It's like not we're, but a lot of people in the Christian faith, they're busy worshiping Jesus, but not following the instructions. You know, worship is not, idolizing is not redemption. I've said here before, guilt is not redemption, shame is not redemption, humiliation is not redemption. And what is redemption except awakening? So love must be redemption, and the awareness of love must be redemption. Peace must be redemption. Understanding is redemption. Correct perception is redemption, meaning awakening. And what is awakened except I'm okay where I am without a story to tell about where I am. It may not seem very interesting, and quite frankly, our conversations are likely to be quite short. Because we got nothing to say about right here, right now. The present moment is just that. The present moment. Well, there's no lack in the present moment. There's nothing to want in the presence. You know, to be present in the presence, there's nothing to want. There's no future. Right now. Nothing to talk about. And I'm a little uncomfortable with it. I guess I could celebrate right now. But what do I celebrate? Well, I could just be glad without a story for why I'm glad. Oh, that God is so good. So what? I'm so good. I don't know what good is. Love is so good, but I don't know what love is. Peace is so good, but I don't know what it is. Joy is so good, but I don't know what it is. Nancy sang a great song. I don't know what it is. I love some people. I don't know what that is. Mad at some people. Don't know what that is. Look in the mirror. There I am. But I don't know what that is. I have opinions. I have thoughts. But that's based on my past. But based on the present, if I look in the mirror, I don't know what that is. Is it good or is it bad? Is it just a thing? Is it something that is forever, or is it something that's going to shift? It doesn't look a thing like a picture I have from 10 years ago that I could hold up to you, or 20 years, or 30 years, or 75 years. It doesn't look like anything. So the wise and foolish builder, the wise builder builds on the presence, builds on a foundation. In the Bible, it says on a rock. The wise builder built his house on a rock. Because on a rock, the house is going to stand on a firm foundation of spirituality. Not religion, but spirituality. A foundation of love, of truth, of wisdom. Wind can blow, people can come up, call you names. We'll get married, we'll get divorced, do all sorts of, we'll have money, we'll run out of money. All that, and we can withstand it. Then there's that builder that built his house on sand. And from what I understand, that builder worked his behind off building that house on sand. He didn't just throw a few boards together and walk in, oh, hi, I'm home. No, he went out and, he got all the right materials. And it was beautiful, that house he built on sand. Problem is, it's got nothing to grip onto when weather comes up, a good storm, and it floats away. He loses his house. And it's the same thing if we build our spiritual home on platitudes, on things that sound nice, on things we're only comfortable with. That's the sand. It sounds so nice. It's the same way building when you plant your garden on rocky soil, as I talked about a few weeks ago, with the four types of soil. And the rocky soil is this rich, beautiful soil. It's about this deep. And then there's rocks underneath. Well, your flowers start to bloom in that, but when the sun comes out, it burns and fries them away because they couldn't grip into the deeper soil that is necessary. That is so very, very necessary. I'll read you this. And it's Luke, and it's chapter 6. It says the two foundations. It says, why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I tell you? I will show you what someone is like who comes to me, hears my words, and acts on them. That one is like a man building a house who dug deeply and laid the foundation on rock. When a flood arose, the river burst against that house, but could not shake it because it had been well built. But the one who hears and does not act is like a man who built a house on the ground without a foundation. When the river burst against it, immediately it fell, and great was the ruin of that house. Well, it's like, So I looked it up in the Holy Spirit's interpretation. Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I say? I am Lord because I am knowledge. To listen to me and practice what I say, and this is not Jesus speaking, this is Holy Spirit speaking. And it says, I am Lord because I am knowledge. To listen to me and practice what I say is to find true peace. Peace that cannot be shaken because it is knowledge. It doesn't say it is knowing, it said it is knowledge. But to listen and not practice is to keep your interpretation, which is not knowledge. And so you have chosen to keep nothing or no thing, and believe it is something. This is to choose illusions over truth, and illusions cannot be shared. Review my words and practice them. I am teaching you the way of peace. Would you like to, most often we would say, would you like to have peace? But the problem is we have peace. Would you like to experience the peace you have? Even at the cost of your lack? Even at the cost of what you're mad at? Even at the cost of any opinion you have that says there's not enough? At the cost that says your past is somehow bad? It's very expensive, isn't it, this piece? At the cost of saying it's all working together for good and I don't have a clue what that means. Knowledge is knowing. Knowledge is I know. It doesn't say I know about. See, when I know about, that's my interpretation. And am I fighting to keep my interpretation, or would I rather give up the fight and have my peace? Experience my peace, experience my wisdom, experience love, experience not my truth, but truth. And there is a difference. It's a big term now that I hear people use is know your truth. Well, this is my truth. No, this is my understanding today. What I call my truth. It's my opinion that I'm fighting for. But I don't have to fight for my opinion anymore. There's nothing to fight for. Truth is always going to be true. And as long as I know that, I can go about my life experience, my soul's journey, and I no longer have to criticize myself and condemn myself. If I'm having a hard day, I'm having a hard day. Could it be that simple? Today it's hard to be me. It's not bad to be me. It's just hard to be me today. Why is it hard to be me today? Because I have a little resistance coming up. Okay, fine. Well, let me go have lunch. Let me go pray. Let me go do whatever. And it'll pass. Last night I was in the too tired part of HALT. By the end, we had a big class here yesterday, and I talked through a lot of it. And I was here at 8:31. It was a long day, and by the end of the concert, I was done. I was fried for the day, and I knew I was not fit company to be around. Well, that's fine. And then I went home, and David, it didn't take him long to realize I wasn't fit company to be around, so he stopped resisting. He just stopped resisting and stopped talking. He did not speak to me. He just stopped trying to get me to not be what I was. And it passed so quickly. Because then I could get in bed and I could read some of this for today. And suddenly I could have a civil conversation about life and our opinions and whatever. When we don't resist each other, it passes so much more quickly. When it's okay that our friend is out of sorts. When it's okay that I myself am out of sorts and I don't have to go have it witnessed. I don't have to go, I'm out of sorts and you're going to see me out of sorts. Who is it? Well, there's a Broadway star who, we won't say her name, but somebody, I think it was her agent once said to, in a negotiation, such and such is not happy, and she is never unhappy alone. Are you never unhappy alone? Do you share the wealth of your misery, or do you share the wealth of your joy? Are you okay if your joy is not received? Could it be okay if your joy is not received? I'm sorry, I want to read one little other passage here to let you know what is asked of us in this spiritual process. But it's okay if it's not happening yet. Okay, first of all, love your enemies. It doesn't say like your enemies. It doesn't say get over it. It says love your enemies. Well, you're going to do some prayer about that, aren't you? Then it says, do good to those who hate you. Do good to those who hate you. Pray for those who mistreat you. Now, what does that mean except affirm oneness with those who mistreat you? If someone strikes you on one cheek, turn to him the other also. What that means doesn't mean offer to be hit. It means turn the other cheek so that you can see them in their true self. See the pain they're going through, the confusion they're going through, whatever it is. David and I had seen someone in his dad's life, and we realized that her meddling was her need to be needed. We decided to look at her different instead of, oh, she's just a problem. No, she needs to be needed. You can forgive that, can't you? We gave way for a new idea. If someone takes your cloak, do not stop him from taking your tunic. Give to everyone who asks you, and if someone takes what belongs to you, do not demand it back. Well, Jiminy. Do to others as you would have them do to you. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Imagine that you would give way for a new thought about someone, and a new thought about you will be given for. Give, and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. This is why I say, interrupt your opinions. You know, those ones you're having in the car when nobody else is in the car. Those ones you're having when you're vacuuming and you think nobody can hear you. Those ones when you just know they're not for your highest. Interrupt those ones first and ask. Go to your highest mind within you, where that beautiful golden light is, and ask. And you can ask because that's how you're building your foundation of spirituality, of true spirit, of true love, of true worth, and true wealth. Your wealth is knowing there is nothing that could disturb your peace. It's not white knuckling it. It is knowing there's nothing that could disturb your peace. There is nothing that could throw you truly off balance. It may be a little confusing for a moment, but there's nothing that could throw you truly off balance. There is no one and no thing that has a true grievance against you. And so you've got to look within and say, Spirit, is there anyone or anything that I have a true grievance against? Is there anyone or anything that I would keep out of heaven? Is there anyone or anything? If there is, that's where you can know your work must be done in order to have a strong, sturdy foundation. You and I are wise builders. You and I are here so that we may let the good times roll, and so that we may celebrate life in its fullest, in its most abundant. Interrupt every thought that tells you or your brother or your sister, your mother or your father, your grandmother, your great aunt, your 7th grade teacher is less than a perfect child of God, no matter the circumstances. Would you consider that? Would you give way for a new thought about your life? Would you give way for a new thought about your neighbor's life? And would you give way for a brand new thought about God and about good? Well, then let's get the party started.
Yeah.